comp win conditions here. Of course, you have Duds the Boy on Jinx, and you have the Zeri Yumi in the bot lane there as well for Desave and Skuro.
Kind of speaks for itself, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot you have to say about that. You get one speed up. It doesn't even have to be a kill anymore on the Zeri. You get a speed up, you get a shield that turns into a kill, and you're like, I don't even know how that happened. Lethal tempo picked up here by both of these AD carries. I'm predicting bot lane is going to be a very explosive matchup.
Yeah, I would say very likely. It would surprise me. Interesting that Wiz looks like he wants to start on the bottom side of the map, so maybe looking to get an early gank up there against Robo. Meanwhile, Loud positioning for a possible invade here. I would expect more likely just going to drop a ward here in the red buff for Wiz to get the vision on where the J4 starts, and that's exactly going to be the plan. And very specifically, Loud was able to deny any sort of early vision in their jungle for KaBuM, so Loud working with a slight information advantage here at the start of this game as Wiz will start that red, get the leash. Tay gonna start on the top side, taking his own red. So I'm curious to see if maybe the Xin tries to get bot lane early.
Yeah, this pathing starting on top side here for Tay definitely does kind of aim towards maybe a buff gank into bot lane, or just clearing towards bot for that first scuttle. It does definitely mean, though, that he is not looking to fight Wiz early on because they're going to be trading these first scuttles. So no 315 fights quite yet here. Maybe flashing for scuttles at the second scuttle mark. As mid lane here, it is a very not chaotic, calm matchup here between the two assassins. I'm not expecting any solo kills here in the mid lane again. It's all going to be about this bot lane here in the game one.
No solo kills, but at least Hao is getting some good early damage on Tinuns. Both mid laners have used one charge of their corrupting potion, so they want to slap each other around here a little bit as they arrive the lane. Let each other know how things are going to go down, as we do take a nice look here at the bottom lane. Duds the Boy and Seos getting the early push going. No surprise here, of course. Jinx with the rockets can very easily deal with the ranged creeps in these waves and get this wave pushing, so they're looking to crash this wave here. And of course, they should be feeling very safe. They had that ward on the red buff, so they knew that Wiz started bot side. Tay has gone from buff to buff, as you mentioned, Camcom, so they're feeling very confident with their early positioning, and they can try and force the issue and denying Desave as much gold as they possibly can as they crash this wave.
It is interesting, actually, to see Tay. He did go buff to buff, but then he decided to clear back towards Gromp's side, going Gromp, Wolves, and then Chickens now. So he is unfortunately going to be a little bit late to that first top side scuttle, but I do think if he recalls right now, he could play for the bot side. But nope, I think I actually just jinxed it. Wiz is going to be able to double scuttle him, and Tay looking for a potential gank here on the top lane, I think, but he will have to walk over a ward in the tri-brush to be able to go for something up there.
Yeah, seems like the recognition from Tay there was the fact that the bot lane was pretty heavily pushed in. Doesn't seem like he wants to go for a dive early on against the Save and Skuro, as that's going to be a good hook there from Seos, but lots of damage onto Duds the Boy, running for his life as Wiz on his way down here, going to be looking for the hook. Flash away there from Seos, and good start here for Desave and Skuro as Duds the Boy and Seos bite off a little more than they can chew.
Yeah, they were shoved in for so long there, right? Tay, he's on the other side of the map. Duds the Boy and Seos still both sitting basically at the tri-brush level in the lane, right? So getting one flash out from Seos, Duds the Boy, he's able to keep his flash, but does have to burn that cleanse. It is a much shorter cooldown, so not as punishing. And of course, Seos has Hex Flash, so also not as punishing. But again, excellent pathing there from Wiz in the early game. Double scuttle in the bot lane gank for two summoners as well.
Yeah, really great start there for Wiz. We can kind of take stock where all the matchups are right now. Parang ahead by 10 CS. We've seen a couple of times jumping up to the top lane that Parang has kept the wave pushed in fairly well against the Camille here through the first 5 minutes. So going well on the top side, that blind pick not having been punished so far in the early game. pretty much dead even in the mid lane. You were talking about it. No solo kills, should be a fairly quiet and pedestrian laning phase for the mid laners, and that has happened so far. And a few CS lead here for Duds the Boy, but I would say with the Save and Skrull able to force those summoner spells and get a good gank from Wiz down to the bot side, they're feeling pretty good about the way the early game has played out.
This has been a very different early game than the bot lane that KaBuM had yesterday, right? They had quite a few kills in that bot lane so far. There's not been any kills, just calmly taking away some summoner spells. And summoner spells, you could take them away all you want, but if you can't turn that into a kill, into a Goldie, which right now the Goldie is actually slightly in favor of Duds the Boy and Seos in the bot lane, and in the whole game it is slightly in favor of KaBuM. But bot lane specifically for Jinx, giving her any lead. Yes, it is only a micro CS lead at this point, but they've had lane pressure so far throughout this entire laning phase, which does worry me a little bit that maybe the Zera Yumi, I don't want to jinx it, not as good as we were expecting. But maybe it's going to scale. I'm still a believer.
I think Duds the Boy is trying to jinx it, but we'll have to see. They're gonna step up into the bottom side river, take this Scuttle Crab, of course, first Drake here, Cloud, and with Wiz towards the top side, possibly looking for a gank here onto Robo, just kind of hanging out in the brush. There we see it with the pink ward down there, hoping that Robo goes in aggressively, but it seems like Robo, no interest in doing anything other than farming out this wave, but Wiz still thinking about it. This wave is going to start to push, but how much time does this J4 want to spend up here? As Brian going to get some more damage there with the Empowered Shock Blast on a Robo, but Wiz is going to complete the recall and we'll head towards the bottom side. Red buff is available for Wiz, and of course the Drake up into Save and Skrull starting to get a little bit of that push, but there's the Hex Flash. They're looking to go down into Save. That's going to be the Dredge Lane landed perfectly into the stun from Duds the Boy. Is Save going to get over the wall, but it's not enough.
Oh.
First blood there for Duds the Boy. Skrull will escape for now, but well done. The aggression from Loud pays off.
Yeah, absolutely. First blood for Duds the Boy here. The second he popped level 6, I think he popped level 6 as he got the kill onto him, so he didn't even have to use his ultimate. So if they do want to go for another play here in the next couple of minutes, you're missing both summoner spells on Skuro as well as that barrier taken by Zerius. We have a replay here. Once again, the exhaust you saw on Duds the Boy, it didn't even matter. He still does so much damage in this early game, and even if the exhaust did block the first couple autos worth of damage, he got that level 6, he would have shot his ultimate, he would have got that kill, and he picked up that first blood forms very nicely.
And you talked about the Nautilus in Champion Select into this lane, and a very good example right there of even without Flash, Seos is dangerous. Even if you don't even have Hex Flash, but Seos able to use the Hex Flash into the brush, get into a prime position to get onto Desave before Desave can vault over the wall, and punishes that positioning from the KaBuM bottom lane, gets Duds the Boy going, and we were already talking about a nice little CS lead for the Jinx, add a kill on top of that, now back to lane with a pickaxe. Duds the Boy going to be feeling very comfortable with the way this early game is playing out. Junglers looking to trade neutral objectives here as Wiz has moved up to take this Rift Herald. Going to be difficult to take Drake after losing a kill on the bottom side. Excuse me, as Tay going to take the Cloud Drake.
Yeah, typically first blood in the bot lane does transition into that dragon, so it is actually nice to see Wiz realizing you probably don't want to contest Duds the Boy now on Jinx. He's already got a lead. It started as a micro CS lead, now it's turned into a kill, now it's going to start turning into items, and giving kills to this Jinx is just so dangerous. They've already turned it into that first dragon play as potential fight here. There was a lot of poke from Desave right there. I was like, that's a little worrying if he gets hooked, but no, he's gonna be all right, as both the junglers are starting to hover the spot side more and more. You saw there, Tay. He was recalling just in case Wiz did end up showing his face down there.
Yeah, and you want to talk about, considering a possible fight down there. Tay definitely canceled his recall once, saw that
Yeah.
aggression from Dasave, and was like, oh, you want to go for it? Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, Robo going to go for the hook shot there. Parang getting some good damage, but Robo able to trade some of it back. In the top side here, this wave, or excuse me, this laning phase going really, really well for Parang. 30 CS lead right now. Robo struggling so far here. Tay going to be spotted out by the pink ward in the river. Parang will just step away from any danger, and that vision from Wiz will discourage any further aggression from the Xin Zhao.
I do think Wiz is looking to drop this Rift Herald by bot lane.
Yeah, Dasave wants to go in. Well done. Skuro going to take the kill with the ultimate, but recognizing the Nautilus was nowhere nearby to protect Duds the boy there, and they go for almost a dive there, and now they're going to get punished. Dasave looking for the tower play, seemingly accepting death here, just looking to get as much gold out of it as Tinones is down to the bot lane here as well. Exhaust on a Tinones, keeping Dasave alive for quite a long time. Seos waiting for another dredge line. That's the flash auto to get the passive route, and Dasave is going to survive for now. Tinones able to get in under tower to finally finish off the kill, but KaBuM surviving much, much longer than I expected.
1-for-1 in the bot lane, but you got another fight up here in the top.
Right back to the top side, as that's going to be the Cataclysm. Robo buying so much time as House has arrived here as well. Tinones getting out of trouble as the teleport came to the top side. Tay able to get the double kills. House is going to fall. Parang running for the hills. Good empowered shock blast. Tay doesn't want this fight anymore, and it's chaos all across the map. It's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Loud.
That was huge there by Tay. He picked up a double kill for himself. Yes, and it was an even trade in terms of kills, but in terms of gold, Tay picked up 600 for himself, trading it only for 400 on the plates there from the tower, and the 400 was shared between the top, or Parang and Wiz there, right? So 600 on one between 400 shared on two is very much worth their for Tay, as you see in this replay here, Robo. He was able to buy so much time for Tay to be able to make it up here. Yes, House was following up, but House, he was just walking into his death. He was walking into that double kill that Tay was in the end able to pick up there for himself. So that Rift Herald, as much as they were able to trade for the first dragon, you also ended up trading it for 2 kills as well.
Yeah, good little infusion of gold there for Loud, as they have about an 800 gold lead here as we approach the 13-minute mark. Pretty good work on the tower plates here for KaBuM. Of course, they've taken 4 on the top side, 1 mid, and 2 down in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, for the side of Loud, 1 in mid, 3 plates down bot. So a nice little infusion of gold there through the tower plates. Parang likely should not have any issue whatsoever finishing off this tower, especially if they get any sort of vision on Tay in the bottom side. Parang's going to be feeling very comfortable there as House getting a good trade there onto Tinones, who's going to have to back away, but we may get a party here in the bottom lane as the dredge line going to just miss there from Seos. Tay stepping into the brush here. That's the ultimate from the Yuumi. Tay is burning down Dasave, hunting for the kill. The ultimate going to keep him alive for now, but it's a shutdown for Dasave, and now looking for more. House has arrived. Dasave wants to go in. So much damage gets blown up there by the Jinx as Duds the boy able to trade back a kill, but still 2-for-1 in favor of KaBuM.
You gave Dasave a kill. Oh no, the series is gonna start now. What are we gonna do, Duds? Okay. He canceled 1 recall. Skuro, only the Yuumi though, so she could just hop on anyone else to recall. But man, that was so well played there by Dasave. He got the leap over the wall, making sure that Seos, without his flash up, he has nowhere else left to run. Yes, he's a Nautilus. Yes, he can hook backwards. But if you're hooking backwards onto Dasave, you're not going to be able to stop him from killing you. So he might have 3 deaths, but first blood, or first kill for him makes me very excited for this bot lane.
And I love it, despite, the early game pretty clearly not going in Dasabe's favor, down 35 CS. Of course, the Jinx 2-1 at this point, is Wiz going to have to flag and drag away from Tinones. despite the early game not going into Save's favor, not afraid to go aggressive there, vaulting over the wall into two members of the Loud bottom lane. Does end up going down, but the aggression is still there. So something tells me Desave still feeling very confident in the power of the Zeri in this game. Of course, thanks to those kills and assists, able to pick up the Triforce here. So first item on the table for the Zeri, and with that kill under her belt, we'll have to see how things play out from here. But Duds the Boy going to take that tower in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Parang able to finish off the tier 1 top side. And now second Herald up. We've seen a lot of teams, despite the lower power of that second Rift Herald, not necessarily a significantly lower priority on that objective, but Tay still on the bottom side. Duds the Boy going for the push, should be able to pretty easily take this tower. Has his teammates in the jungle here, so no shortage of confidence from this Jinx to take a second tower, and nice push there from Loud.
Yeah, and if you do remember, those inner turrets were buffed quite a bit, giving a lot more local gold to whoever takes it. So as much as they were able to trade that inner turret for taking that second Rift Herald, as you do mention, they put a lot of priority onto these second Rift Heralds. But you just gave an entire tower worth of damage and gold to Duds the Boy. This Jinx is sitting real pretty. 2.5 completed items. That is 1.5 up on Desave. Just on his own. At this point, Duds the Boy, he is a big Jinx. Looking to have that third item completed probably before the 20-minute mark even hits, which means that soul point that Loud is now currently sitting on, he's gonna have his 3 out of power spec before that even spawns.
You want to talk about an infusion of gold? I'm pretty sure Duds the Boy backed with first item and just a couple of daggers, and then comes back with the crit cloak and an RFC on top of that. So this Jinx is going to be very terrifying in these team fights. It's going to be very key for Wiz and House, I would say, to deal with this Jinx, to get onto the backline and try and take her down. Of course, Desave going to do his best, use those fancy feet to try and get around in these fights. Is going to be able to vault over the wall there and get away from danger. Rift Herald, second one picked up from Wiz during that push in the bottom lane, is going to drop it down to the bot side, and that'll secure another tier 1 tower. Here is House in the bottom lane going to clear out this wave, and it looks like the focus is to get some vision in the blue side of Loud here. We're 2 minutes away from this next Drake coming up, and something tells me KaBuM are going to be fairly highly prioritizing it. 2 Drakes already in the pocket here. Is House going for Robo just going to be able to escape, but cannot stay and continue to protect this tower, as Seo's going to use the Hex Gate to get out into the blue quadrant. And Desave in trouble, going to be able to vault over the wall. That's going to be the super mega death rocket. Desave going to get away for now. The heals and sustain from the Yuumi going to keep Zeri alive, but that means they will forfeit this tier 1 mid, though the teleport coming through from House, and they aren't actually able to take it. Wow, it seemed like possibly everything going wrong there for KaBuM. Tay, meanwhile, going in. Teleport on its way from Parang. House looking to get into the action, and another teleport. Here comes Tino's. Tay getting burned down, but the ultimate going to keep him alive for now. Here comes Robo. That's going to be Wiz going gold. Meanwhile, Robo onto the backline. Desave having to back away. Wiz is so low. 1 kill for Parang as Tay is down. Here comes the Zeri. Down goes Seos, and they're looking for more. Does the boy try to walk a fine line here? The rockets have paid off. Not even 100 health on the Jinx, and it doesn't matter. Though finally the Shock Blast shuts down the Jinx. Robo running for his life. It was a double kill there for Robo, but will get shut down anyway. It's an ace for KaBuM 19 minutes in.
Ace for KaBuM on Duds the Boy's power spike. That is going to turn the game right around. What? Okay.
Okay, you saw that too. I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
I think that was the death animation from Duds the Boy. So as you can see, he's just literally ascended above Summoner's Rift. He is hovering in the clouds right now. Unfortunately, he did die their TP flank potentially here on to break 20 seconds before the next dragon, and Wiz could almost be caught out.
I mean, this is feeling very LPL right now, as that's going to be Tinones just deleted. Desave going to get another kill here on the Zeri. 5 seconds till the Drake is up. This is huge. Loud, we're stacking the Drakes early on, but KaBuM going to be able to take away the third one here, put a nice little Hextech Drake in their pocket at the 20-minute mark. Baron is up. They've got a 2,000 gold lead, which is not huge for this point in the game, but with the way that last fight played out and being able to pick off Tinones there right before the Drake, KaBuM not lacking confidence at this stage of the game.
Absolutely not, as now they've turned that one team fight into one dragon, which does stop that dragon stacking that Loud did have going so well for them. They could have had a 20-minute soul point, Hextech soul point as well, which would have been very powerful, very scary, but luckily KaBuM was able to stop that with at least one dragon take, as well as 2 bottom towers there taken away from Loud. Baron is started up here. I do believe KaBuM knows that they're on Baron, and they do have a lot of damage from Duds the Boy right now to be able to try and take it. Wiz will face check.
4,000 health. They were pinging it, so they had at least a general idea here. They're going to turn right on to Wiz, and they're going to just continue to burn down the Baron. It is going to be secured, but here comes the fight. Saros running for his life. They're on to Duds the Boy here and fighting on multiple different fronts. That's going to be 1 kill apiece. They're up towards the top side. Meanwhile, Tay trying to get onto Desave, but the kiting from the Zeri is just so good. It's a double kill for Parang, and everything goes wrong after the Baron. Robo and Tinones survive, but Parang maybe still on the hunt here. The Baron falls, but 3 for 1 in favor of KaBuM sets their eyes on these towers.
Man, they got the Baron, but they only get to keep it on 2 members. They do get to keep it on both of their side lane members, though, so that is going to be at least a little helpful if they do want to start playing more towards that top outer turret and mid outer turret that are still standing. But it is just one team fight into an objective, into another team fight, into it, almost stealing a Baron and then winning the team fight right after it here for KaBuM, as we do get to see a replay here of that last team fight. Wiz, he walked in on his own. He knew that they were on the Baron, and he knew that he wanted to play for the steal, but the Cataclysm straight onto Duds the Boy there. It buys them so much time. They were finally able to kill him, and that being the main gold point for Loud at this point in the game, right? You keep him out of the fight, or even better, you kill him, and then you're able to clean up the rest of Loud right after. It has been KaBuM winning at every point in this game right now for the past 5 or 6 minutes ever since they won that fight around the Hextech Dragon.
I do like the fact, though, that Loud has not lacked that decisiveness so far in this game. Despite losing some fights, they continue to try and make plays to actively pull themselves back into this game, because KaBuM likely not just going to hand them an opportunity here. So Loud need to make their own plays. KaBuM looking to collapse here up towards the top side. Tinones with a bit of a flank there in the tri-brush, and Seos going to back away. House wants to get in here. Desave gonna get over the wall. That's a lot of damage on a Wiz, but a beautiful Cataclysm, and they just get deleted. House takes out Seos, and Wiz into the backline, just threatening Duds the Boy. It's a double kill there for the Vex, and Tinones is running. Wiz just trying to keep Tay locked down. It's a triple kill for House. Desave just melting through Tay's health bar. The Sin Sao will not survive. It's an ace there for KaBuM, and it all goes wrong for Loud.
5-0 ace for KaBuM, man. Dang, that is 18-9 on the kill lead, 5,000 gold in their pockets now as well. It is team fight into objective, into Baron, into team fight. Yes, Loud, you picked up a Baron. Yes, Loud, you got 2 dragons, but where has that gotten you now? You've lost every single outer turret. The only towers still standing with them right now are their inhibitor turrets, and you see, they don't even have any vision in their jungle. They're walking around in their jungle blind at this point. That's how they just lost that team fight. They were pushed up way too far without any vision. They almost just walked straight into House on that flank in the tri-brush, right? It's just, you can't walk up past your inhibitor turrets anymore. You get picked off, and then you just lose the team fight and objectives immediately after.
Oh, down to the bottom lane. Robo in trouble once again, locked up by the Cataclysm, and the hook shot already gone. Robo's life should be forfeit here. Parang has arrived, will secure the kill with the empowered Shock Blast. Down goes Robo, and all control of the map to KaBuM. They're grouping in the bottom side. They have their eyes set on an inhibitor. The defense is here from Loud, but it may not be enough. Tay trying to posture here, but the damage from the Vex is so much. Tay getting onto the back line, but it isn't even a significant threat here as down goes Tinones. They're looking for more. Seos soon to fall as the Shock Blast hits Does the Boy, and Does the Boy running for the hills. Seos will survive for now, but it does not matter. The inhibitor is going to fall. KaBuM with their eyes set on the Nexus. They're going to turn right for the towers. It's just the bottom lane here to defend. Robo about to come up, so they may get a little bit of help, but it may not be enough. Does the Boy trying to throw out as much damage as he can as the Dredge line's going to miss. Robo getting in there, trying to force the issue, but goodbye, Seos. They're looking for more. Does the Boy deleted. It's a triple kill for Parang on the chase. The Nexus will fall, and KaBuM will move to 5-1.
2-0 weekend here for KaBuM. Not even just as a scoreline in team. It's a